This is MMA Oddsbreaker.
All right, guys, time for today's bonus fight. It's a big one in the UFC light heavyweight division. It's a rumored bout at UFC 157 between Antonio Rogerio Nogueira and Rashad Evans. Now, I'm going to start off with Greg first on this one. Both guys very talented light heavyweights, but I am going to open Rashad, the decent favorite, minus 345. The comeback on Nogueira is going to be plus 265. Give me your take. Give me your bet.
All right, well, it's Rashad Evans all the way. Let's look at the last 4 fights that Nogueira has had. He had a split decision win against Jason Burrows, who had a wrestling background, took the fight on short notice, and in a lot of people's mind won that fight. He has losses to Ryan Bader and Phil Davis. He did have a victory over Tito Ortiz. And you could say Tito has a wrestling background, but obviously was on the downward side of his career. So Rashad Evans is a former champion. He's more explosive than Ryan Bader is, has the wrestling background, very athletic, similar in the athleticism to a Phil Davis. And Nogueira's kryptonite is wrestlers, but Rashad can still stand and throw punches with them. He hits hard. Nogueira's kryptonite, the wrestler, and I see him, falling to another defeat on this. And I think the odds are right on there because Nogueira, as soon as I heard this fight was announced, I'm like, man, he's getting another wrestler. He's going to be a huge underdog.
All right, so valid points once again made by Greg here. He is going to go with the favorite, Rashad Evans, minus 345. So it's going to be $17.25 to win $500. Adam, what do you think about Evans versus Nogueira?
Yeah, Evans is the pick in this fight for sure. I just think that, again, Nogueira is a very talented fighter, but it's just a bad matchup for him stylistically. Like Greg said, I mean, he's looked pretty bad against the last couple wrestlers he's fought, and Evans is a better wrestler than probably any of those guys. So I think that with Evans, with his takedowns and wrestling ability, with his knockout power, with his boxing, and Nogueira does have good boxing too, don't get me wrong, but I just think that Evans is just going to be too much for him. And he's a little younger too, so he has that advantage as well. I mean, if the fight does hit the ground, Nogueira can definitely threaten off his back. There's no question about it, but I just think that, with Nogueira's inactivity, he hasn't fought in over a year now, combined with just the style matchup, I think Evans will win this fight, and he's a very safe play in a parlay.
Okay, so Adam is going to lay the juice here on Rashad Evans as well. A lot of great points made. It's going to be $17.25 to win $500 on Rashad Evans. Both of our experts do agree Rashad Evans over Nogueira at UFC 157. Stay tuned for what Miguel and I have to say during our odds adjustment segment.
Well, thanks for joining us. That's it for another episode of MMA Odds Breakers. You can look for the odds that Nick broke right here on the show to start popping up at the sport books throughout the coming week. And a big special thanks to our 2 guests, Adam Martin and Greg Delong. Thanks for joining us, guys. Great job.
And if you haven't checked out our site yet, make sure you head over to MMAOddsbreaker.com. A lot of betting picks, previews, and much, much more. And also follow us on Twitter at MMA Oddsbreaker. For Miguel Liderati, I'm Nick Kalikas saying until next time, enjoy the fights.